Hi everyone, welcome to day 5 of Web Development Basics Training by First Creative Studio. Today is our last class in HTML and we are looking at these three topics. We're going to look at colors, we're going to look at div and span, how they work, what they are, then the last thing we're going to look at is comments. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to dive straight into colors. I want to change the color of the text within this header. This header should be red. Come here, style is equals to this, then color colon red semicolon. We save, then we run. This header should be red. That's great. Now sometimes we want the background of something. We're going to do P, close the tag, then I have some text here, copy, now I want the background. I want the background to be blue. Now when typing in this, you have to be very careful. Why? Because a little error such as making a mistake in spelling background right, spelling color with OUR, misspelling the color will result in your code not working. So you have to be patient and you have to be careful. So that's how we do background color. I'm sorry. That's it. That's how we put background color of anything. Now we can also specify the color for border, for just anything apart from image. We can specify the border color of the image, but we can't change the colors that are already in an image, right? So that's color. Now with color, you can either specify this way or you use hex code. Hex code and specifying the color with text are two of the most common ways colors are specified in HTML or in programming basically. Hex code simply means you start with an hashtag, then what follows the hashtag can be 6 letters or a mixture of letters and numbers, but they must be 6. So let's do BB1457. Now I want to put that, so I'm changing the color from red in text to hex code. Launching Chrome. Yeah, this is the color of the header. I don't know what color this is. Looks like a pinkish red, something like that. But anyway, this is hex code in action. You put a hashtag, then you follow it with 6 letters or 6 characters, which are a mixture of letters or numbers. And now if you see a color on a site or somewhere and you like it but you don't know the name of the color, you don't know the hex code, there are applications online. I think one of them is called Color Picker. Some you install on a tab, others they will require you to upload an image. Then with that image, they will specify the colors in the image for you, so you can pick the one that's close to what you want. So that's that about colors. Let's go to div. Now I want you to think of div as a box that contains items. Now in this case, my box is going to contain everything I've typed so far, as I put it at the end of my paragraph tags. And also you can see why it's helpful, like instead of typing after all this whole thing I put p at the end. It's helpful to just let the p's and everything follow each other. That way you can know if you're missing one, or you've not closed one, or you know where that one ends, so you can put something else. Like in this case, I need my div ending to be after the closing paragraph tag. So like I said, div, think of it like a box. Now instead of specifying color here, what if I wanted color? Instead of specifying color here, like the text is going to be this, background color is going to be this. Let's say I had some more things inside this place, let's say 15, and they are all different with different things inside, and I wanted every one of them to have the color of this text. How do I do it? With the way we've learned so far, it just means to go and type for every one of them, style is equals to this, style is equals to this. But with div, it's easier. It's easier because you can just come here and put your style. Thank you. I won't need this one again, but let me save it. Let me leave that one there. I want you to watch what happens to the text of this one. Remember this one, this is here, the text was still black, and the rest of this one were still black. Only this one that I specified was changed. Now with me putting this in div, let's see if there will be any difference. All of them changed. In case somebody's asking, but this one did not change, this colors div and span comment, my div started here. This is where color div and span comments is. See the div, opening tag, closing tag. Color div and span comments are outside the div, so the div is not going to affect them. The div is only going to be concentrated with what is inside it. That's why I said think of div like a box. Now if you, and this is very helpful because you might want to change some things. You might want the font of all the letters here. Maybe this is the only place there's text in your web page. You want the fonts to be different from the typical one we are using. You can specify using the div. Or you want this div to have this border, and you want it to be adjusted this way in the web page. You want it to have this, have that. You specify using the div. You don't need to go for every other element or every other tag you have written before to specify it. So the div is actually very, very useful. So now I want us to use span. Let me delete the style first. Span is an interesting tag because it lets you separate. Like let's say I want span to make this thing red, so put span here, put span, close, style. Let's try if it will work despite style color being here. Just want the color of the header to be, let's make this one blue. Save. Note that with span I didn't put semicolon. Header should be blue. Yeah. Important difference between every other person's color and span. You know, some people just have to be different. Span doesn't need semicolon. Let's try and see what happens when I put semicolon in span. This is the previous one. The header changed to blue. Let me adjust it so you can see. Yeah, this changed to blue while the rest was this color. So let's see what happens when I put semicolon in span. No changes. So with or without it, span is fine. But I will advise you just to be on the safe side, and so that it's not hard or it's not difficult, or you forget that it's span only and you can't attach it to all these other ones. Just put semicolon. So that's all for span. Let me go back and make everything the color I wanted. That's all for span. Don't worry, today's class is quite short. It's quite short. The rest I will save it for CSS. So day 1 of CSS class, rest very well the day before. Come with a fresh mind, a fresh everything. Alright, so where was I? Okay, save. And I came here and I put the style of everything here. Equals to this. Color. I'll make background color. No, that one is blue. Color. Black. You remember that because I specified this one, that it should be this color, it will not change. The rest that have not been specified will change to black. So this is it. I was already in black, but yeah, double specifying here. Yeah, it changes. You say, oh, just to confirm that our code works, just copy and paste and put it here. Yeah, everything changed. So that's that for div. Div has other properties you can make use of, but that's the main function of div. That if you have anything within div, you can specify how it looks. If there's borders, are there paddings, are there this, are there that, all that. So that makes it easier. And also there's something we call class in divs. Class. So that's just div style class. Let's call our class cities. Right? No semicolon, just watch cities. Now let's leave this color out of it. But our div class is called cities, right? Let's create another div. We can look for content for that div. Div close div. H2. This is section 2. Alright, let me get from here. Some reasons, blah blah blah. Thank you. Control C. In between the tags. Yeah, it's a very long listen. Let's go back. So this div section 2, div class cities. Let's name this class something else. Class class 2 Let me just call it that. Let's see the power of a div in action. So this is cities. I remember before I put what they call, I changed the background, I specified that all the text should be like this. Now let's go back to that style tag in between head. Come here, style, now div can have up to 3 different elements in it. We've already seen style in action. Now we are seeing class, and it can also have ID. So with class and ID, wherever you call this the class, that's cities, or whatever the ID is, and let's say you specify style, if what you're focusing on is the changes, maybe colors, border, anything, anywhere that this cities is, even if I name 5 divs cities, what I specified that all of them, let's say their background should be blue, they should look like this, this thing will be applied to every single one of them. So now imagine having 5 different sections, then 2 need to be a certain way. Instead of making changes to, first and foremost, line by line or div by div, once I have a div named with the class specified as one thing, if I go to style and say every div with this class, let's say cities, should have this, and this, they will all have it. So now let's go to this style tab. Now whenever you're calling a class, you call it with dots. You start dots. The other one we just wrote border, blah 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 blah. This one, whenever you're calling the class, you start with dots. Class name is cities, so CITIES. Put enter. Now what were the things inside this? We wanted the color. The same way you type it in style is the same way, in style when it's attached to a tag, is the same way you type it up here. Color, I wanted the color to be this. So, and also here, don't forget your semicolon. Now background color was supposed to be blue. But the spelling, blue. So now what I just did is I changed the color of all the text inside here to this, and I made the background blue. So I want to delete this style so we can see cities in its full effect, demonstrating its full power. Save. That's it. Previously only the lower one had that. So now everything apart from this, because remember it's not within the div, is going to have background, a blue background. Yeah. And look at the color of the text, every single one of them. Now look at section 2. I only called this class, the one with cities, section 2. Look at it. The class name is 2. This is section 2. No changes. Look at it. No changes. That's the power of a div. Now also, if you progress in your programming and you have to deal with ID and all that, this becomes useful. This style class ID, this becomes useful because there might be certain times, especially in JavaScript, you need to call a particular ID to do something. Now with class, 2 different sections can be called the same class. I can change this one from this to cities. Two different sections can be called. I hope I got the spelling right. See, there's no semicolon here. Let's refresh. So there's no semicolon there. If I call two different things, two different classes can be at the same name, but they can't share the same ID. Like the same way we'll have style is equals to whatever we are putting, maybe margin, border, and put border. Let's specify border to be 2px. Just for demonstration's sake. Then ID like cities is going to like a special name you call it. You call the ID of this of the div like a special name you call it. Sorry, don't Rosie. Like ID has a special name. You don't name the ID here boys, then come here and name the ID of a different div boys. So supposed to make it specific to each div, right? And the other thing when it comes to what they call IDs, right? IDs class are called by dots. This IDs are called by this hash, or ID call it boys, hash boys. Then we specify what should be happening to everything within that div that is called boys, that has an ID of boys. So div, hope we're saying the benefit of divs now. And this especially comes in handy with CSS and JavaScript, because they are the ones that make use of it the most. Now the thing with ID, you can't put space, and minimum you should have one character. You can't put space like this or tab. It's not allowed. Then it's also case sensitive, though I advise anything with HTML, just maintain the same thing. Some of them are case sensitive, some items are not case sensitive. So just to be on the safe side, just maintain what it is. If it's an image, it's maybe in capital JPG, just put it. If it's this, you wrote it as small, you're referring it to another place, please keep it in small. Like this, if I was making use of boys, and after typing it with a small letter B here, if I come here and type capital 1, nothing will happen. Why? Because to the computer I'm referring to something else, because this one is case sensitive. So hope we are saying now. So now let's go to the last one, the final one. I'm not using boys, I'm not using ID today. Final one, comments. What is a comment? Yes, a comment in HTML is quite similar to the normal comments we have. Like someone is making a comment on this or a comment on the page. Yes, but what it does is different. Though it will not be comments are not going to be displayed in your browser, but it helps you when you're coding. Like, let's say you're coding something for the first time, you don't want to forget it. When you do this, a comment is you're simply making a comment in your code. Alright, you have to use the opening and closing tag for comment. And then you're telling yourself, like the next time you view their code, this makes the background of the paragraph blue. So you're just telling yourself, or whoever is reading your code, what that particular line of code does, or what that section of code does. So to make it easier for the person when the person is reading it, and easier for you, let's say in 2 years time you drop it, you're no longer looking at it again and all that, but when you come back it's easy. Instead of you trying to figure out, oh, what did this used to do, what can this do, you just put in the comments. And almost all languages, HTML, remember I said languages, not programming languages, almost all languages used in programming have that comment thing. All of them are not specified using this. JavaScript has its own, Java as a programming language has its own, SQL, PHP, they all have what they use to write their comments. But with it helps you put reminders, notifications. You come back, or maybe you stop coding today, you save it, something did not work, you want to write down, okay, this is where we stopped today and this is ABC that we have tried. Right? Comments make it easy. And let's see, this is the first div to show you that comments don't show on the page. This is it. It was supposed to show that shown before what advantages does physical education bring to education, but it did not show. That's the point of the comments. So we've learned everything we need to learn for today, and this brings us to the end of HTML. Now on to HTML assignments, the final assignments. Oh, and before then there was something I wanted to specify. Like in between the divs, you remember that when we put paragraphs together, or when we left things in a paragraph, they just followed each other, they don't go to the next line. But with div, they give each other a little bit of space, they move to the next line. And I didn't put any break in between. Look at this, is where the previous div ended, this is where this one started. No break in between, it just continued, no break. Alright, so that's what I wanted to say before we go into the assignment. Now with assignments, our assignment has to consist of everything we have learned so far. Everything, every single thing we have learned so far. We have learned links, we have learned input types, we have learned images, we have learned tables, we have learned colors, we have learned comments, now we have learned superscript, paragraph, everything. So I want you to create a web page. Actually, okay, because of those people that are in JavaScript, that are using JSB, people with laptop, let me specify assignment. I think I'll put it in a div. Sorry. People with laptops, I want you to create I want you to create 3 pages. They should be named home, about us, and contact us. And I want from both the from both the home, there should be links in each page to the other page. So like in home should have links to about us and contact us, and there should be things on this page, so you can put whatever you like. You want an image there, put whatever you like. Though I'll specify some things that should go into this image, these pages. About us, the same thing, link all of them together. Contact us, link all of them together. Links and this. See, this is for people with laptops, right? So, and in this, obviously you should have title. Each page should have their own title. I advise you to name your home page home or whatever you feel like naming. Each page should have their title. Contact us should have list items in them. You can put phone number. You can say, let's say you're doing something for a restaurant, you can put the restaurant name, then know how you put your list such that it'd be like, oh, this is our WhatsApp line, this is our phone line, this is what they call a Facebook page for this particular branch, something like that. Or use Domino's, for example. They have branch in Ikorodu, they have branch in Lekki, they have different branches. So just imagine different branches with their name, then with their contact details. So figure out a way to make use of lists in that place. Then about us, I want to see an image there. You can write whatever speech you want to write, but it should have an image. Should have an image. Whichever thing you do, I want you to practice. Home page, let me see. Home page, it should have what they call. Home page should have a sign up form. Sign up form. So that's it. You can add more if you want, but me, I just want a situation where you make use of everything you've learned so far. Now I want to see colors on your page, whether you're using the background, whether you're changing the background of your page, or you're changing text, but I want to see something besides the typical black and white in every page. That's for laptop users. Phone users, no, you did not escape. I want 3 links linking to 3 different websites. I also want you to make use of chemistry. Look for equations. I don't think there's anybody that is in secondary school here. So we have balanced equations and all those things, right? And I know they have subscripts in it, where you have NaHCO3 and the 3 is below. So type out chemical balance equation. Equations. Use subscript. want image from, wait, let me see, linking. Yes, you need to have an image. I also need a sign up form. No, yeah, sign up form is okay. The sign up form can consist of anything. You can ask them to put their first name, their last name, address, all that. So I need a full sign up form with everything, including a submit button. That's only all I'm asking. Should include submit button. What else do I give you so people with laptops don't say I cheated? Okay, you have what? You have a sign up form, they have sign up form, you're using subscripts, you're using lists, okay? Now people with laptop, obviously all pages should have heading tags. You have to put the contact us somewhere now. Apart from in the name, you have to write contact us on the page. So use a heading tag. Image. You know what? Let me make your own page. Let me make it easier. Contact us has a list. Homepage has a sign up form. Yeah, you can add up more if you want. But I think that's okay for people with distance start protesting. Okay, so they have links. They're using subscripts. They have a sign up form. Add image to your page. And that's about it. All this is repetition, but so that somebody doesn't come back and say I don't understand. I'll try to explain better. 3 web pages: home, about us, and contact us. Home links to about us and contact us. About us links to home, and contact us links to about us and home. So if we are viewing your homepage, we should say the links to this too. So people with laptop, I'm expecting 3 screenshots. One of your home, one of contacts, one of about us. That's all. Welcome to the end of HTML. So good luck, all the best, bye.